Now, I expect all of you to put in your stargazing hours outside of class. Is that clear?
But, Professor, it's freezing out.
Mere cold didn't stop the great stargazers of the past. Look only to the astronomy tables they erected throughout the Highlands, from which they gazed millennia ago on the very self-same stars above us. Is that clear? Dismissed.
Oh, hello. Good to see you again. We Ravenclaws must stick together.
Oh, hello, Amit. Nice to see you again.
Did I hear Professor Shaw say that you don't have your own telescope? I have a spare one you could borrow for the rest of term.
I can't do that, Amit. You might need it.
No, really, you can. And I won't. It's my old one. I finally got my hands on the new Celestia Contemplar. You've heard of it, I assume? I mean, of course you have. It's only the pinnacle of all personal stargazing implements. But my old model's not too shabby either. Goblin-cut glass, first-rate optical enchantments. Hate to think such a fine instrument is just collecting dust.
Well, thank you, Amit.
Think nothing of it. Anyway, the telescope's in the storage room right underneath us. You can't miss it. I have some, reading to finish on the lower deck. Come find me there afterwards, and bring the telescope. There's something I want to talk to you about.
Tried to put off my stargazing as long as I could. A lot of good that did. How am I supposed to find Sirius when my hands are too cold?
Not sure what you can learn from these astronomy tables that you can't learn from a cup of tea leaves.
Amit thinks he knows everything. Even told me he can speak gobbledygook. Sounded like gibberish to me.
I had heard about these odd stone tables out in the Highlands. Perhaps that's what Professor Shah was talking about.
Professor Shah's just about as cold and distant as the bloody stars she wants us to chart. Ugh, not how I wanted to spend my evening.
This was his old telescope. Looks practically brand new. Professor Shah, I'm interested in learning more about astronomy.
It is increasingly rare to find a student who seeks after things celestial, of their own accord. But if you truly desire to chart the courses of the cosmos, you must rid your mind of the terrestrial babble of others. We ourselves are not unlike blank star charts, you know? Empty canvases waiting to be inscribed.
Am I right in thinking you are unimpressed by divination?
Of the many other so-called disciplines taught here, do not confuse astronomy and astrology. One is concerned with mysteries stellar and lunar. The other is mere lunacy.
You mentioned astronomy tables earlier, in class.
Long ago, devotees of the astral arts set up stone slabs across the countryside. They are ideal for studying constellations near and far. For centuries, wizards made use of these astronomy tables. Sadly, they have since become mere monuments to the intrepid intellectual pursuits of a bygone epoch.
Thank you, Professor. I look forward to stargazing.
I am glad to hear it. Should be a stellar night for it.
The constellations are beautiful. Not
Tried to put off my stargazing as long as I could. How am I supposed to find Sirius when my hands are too cold to use a telescope? It's a dog, isn't it?
Revelio. The perfect night for... Oh, hello again.
I have the telescope. It's nicer than I'd expected.
I would not offer a prospective stargazer a third-rate lunoscope. But there is, something else.
Yes, what is it?
You remember those astronomy tables Shaw was going on about? It just so happens I've been reading up on them a little myself. And it seems there may be one right here at Hogwarts. I believe we could use it to find hidden constellations.
And you need someone to help find it.
I do. Are you in? No one from the Gobstones Club will go with me. Said they'd rather get spit at by a stone than... Well, they are cowards. Let us get moving while the stars are still out. I'll show you how to use that telescope once we get there. I promise.
No need to convince me. Let's get going.
Brilliant. You won't regret it. Shall we? The table is on a castle wall ahead. Look for a stone platform.
Revelio.
Something that doesn't quite belong. We'll know it when we see it. Onwards we go. Some say the locations of the tables were originally marked by centaurs for ritual stargazing. It is nice having a fellow stargazer to explore with.
Happy to be here. It is good to leave the classroom now and then.
It's not that
Lumos.
creepy out here at night, is it? The Gobstones Club are cowards. Here I am, charging ahead. Why don't you lead the way?
If you're sure.
Revelio. A little foreboding.
A few cobwebs and some dust. Nothing to be concerned about.
Oh, of course. It's just not as
Revelio.
tidy as I expected. More cobwebs. You don't think any spiders might be lurking about?
Oh no, not this close to school, Amit.
Look, there's the table.
Revelio.
Go on, try it out. The constellation should appear near the center of your view. I was right about the tables. They really are gateways to the far stars, just as the book said. And your contribution was invaluable. Rest assured, you shall be credited in my memoirs one day.
Thank you, Amit. I look forward to reading them.
And I look forward to writing them. This is only the beginning. You will find more tables like this one throughout the grounds and forest, all beckoning to be discovered by a worthy astronomer. And if I have ever seen one, it's you. Oh, and about my old telescope, don't bother returning it. You should keep it.
That's quite generous. Thank you.
You are welcome. It has goblin-cut glass and a gobbledygook inscription. I'm practically fluent in gobbledygook, you know. It's all in the throat. Anyway, glad our adventure was a success. I will see you soon.
Off on another adventure, are we?
Revelio.
You can't imagine how inconvenient travel was before I invented blue powder. Psst, over here. Quietly. I'm glad.
I'll help you find.
It is frustrating that we do not study apparition until our 6th year. I've learned of a wizard who is being harassed by Harlow. May be able to provide the evidence we need to take Harlow down. We should speak with him together. Meet me at his home.
When you have a moment, please stop by the Room of Requirement. Deke tells me he has something to share with you.
I assume you have news regarding the goblin you mentioned. Why don't we meet at the map chamber to discuss that and our next steps?
Slow down now. There we go.
It's awful if you're sat near someone and they're trying to pass notes out. Half the time I get the blame, and Hecate has no tolerance. I can tell you.
In my opinion, divination is a load of rubbish. Professor Anai seems so logical. I don't understand how she believes the things she teaches.
Ugh.
Levioso! Depulso! Confringo! Revelio.
You would be wise not to underestimate this student. Their aptitude for magic is beyond anything I've ever seen, and I've been teaching a long time.
It is a joy to have such a student.
It can be.
There you are.
I received your owl. I was able to speak with Lodgok, the goblin I mentioned before.
What did you learn?
He and Ranrock were close once, but they had a falling out.
You believe he can be trusted?
I believe he's trustworthy, yes. He seemed sincere, and Sirona Ryan trusts him.
Very well. Supposing he can be trusted, will he help us get to Ranrock?
I retrieved a stolen helm. He hopes to return to Ranrock in order to regain his confidence.
You have been busy. Let's hope your efforts result in our learning something about Ranrock's plans.
Lord Gok did mention that Ranrock is searching for something, but he couldn't say what. Perhaps that helm will yield some answers.
Ranrock is searching for something. I feared as much. I've heard an unusual amount of activity, goblins and wizards, I surmise, when visiting my portrait at my castle.
Rookwood Castle?
My former residence, yes. That castle is also the location of your next trial.
You didn't see anything? Speak with anyone?
I did not. In fact, I did not make myself known. I only recently returned there and did not recognize nor trust anyone that I heard. I stayed out of sight so as not to tempt my portrait's destruction.
I'm sorry to tell you that Victor Rookwood, evidently your descendant, is a dark wizard in league with Ranrock.
My descendant? A dark wizard? I'm afraid we've no time to waste. Despite the obstacles that clearly await you, you must get to Rookwood Castle immediately. Not only is it the location of the next... I do wish we had the luxury of time. However, I do not doubt your abilities. Find my portrait there as soon as you can.
Very well, sir. I'm on my way.
Best of luck.
No time to waste. I'll meet you at Rookwood Castle.
It's like a place right out of a storybook.
House elves are wizard kind.
Well, if you weren't so forgetful, we'd probably have more, wouldn't we? You can never have too many sacks, my friend. Over here!
What's going on here?
Professor Rookwood was right. The place is crawling with Victor Rookwood's lot and Ranrock's loyalists. They're working together, all right, but it is not a friendly alliance. I'm sure you'll agree that we need to find a way in other than the front gate. Let's go.
Lovely.
absurd, isn't it? Ranrock wants us to find the child, but which
Confringo.
child?
We could take every child we find to Ranrock. Then we make it the right one.
Cool. Sounds like a lot of work.
Confringo.
Some of it taken out.
It does sound easier.
Leviosa.
Let's do that.
You can't stop Ranrock's rebellion!
Most goblins in my family worked in the mines at one time or other.
You won't get away with that.
Up there. That's our way in.
Wingardium Leviosa.
If I'd known your plan was to dig up half the country...
I wouldn't have to dig if you could simply manage to bring me the child.
We wouldn't need the child if you hadn't sent a dragon to retrieve the container I spent months and countless ministry favors tracking.
You let them board the carriage. My options were limited once I knew it would be inconveniently beyond my reach at that infernal school.
Have you not acquired enough power here? I allowed you to tunnel under my family home.
Allowed me? You are here only because you are descended from a keeper and may at some point inadvertently become valuable. We had an agreement. I will share with you the power that I discovered if you locate the stores of magic that are yet to be found. So, unless you want another demonstration of my power, a power that you one day hope to wield, bring me the child.
We already knew they were after you, but now we know they're digging for stores of magic.
And Ranrock knows about the Keepers.
Yes, I caught that too. Professor Rookwood said that you'd understand more once you complete the next trial.
Let's get into that castle.
Any special words you want me to pass on to your mum?
Expulso.
Quite conductive.
A lamb to the slaughter. One left Expulso.
I'll bury you in the deepest spot.
Expulso. What are your faults? Nothing about you. That's the best you can do. Levioso. Stop it! That is You're going to regret that, Descendo. You are. What did you do now?
Back to the pit.
Try not to make this compulsory. I'll make you wish one back at school.
Ranrock will lead us to victory! You won't get away with that. Back to the bench, or death.
Stop that right now!
I will have my revenge!
Levioso.
What's that? Who's there?
Revelio. Revelio.